You're now listening to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. Straightforward, no nonsense business advice. Completely unfiltered. Grow your business. Grow your life. Now, here's your host, Brian Fullerton.
Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast. This is your host, Brian Fullerton, here playing with you guys, hanging with you guys. I'm playing with my wife right now in a remedial fashion. Hold my feet. Give me a foot massage. Come on. Ooh. What the heck? We're over here in the nursery, Alcasa, brought to you by the Company Cam Studios, like the almonds. We don't have a fancy studio. We have a fancy nursery. That's where all of our money went.
I'm literally sitting on our nugget that's usually in the living room for Emmy because it's in the nursery from Christmas.
Clarify what a nugget is for the people that...
A nugget is I don't know, what would you call it? It's a play... It's like a bunch
mats.
Of cushions.
Like cushion mats.
That you can build like forts out of and kids can climb on and play around with and stuff.
We built... We
have two of them because we love it so much. I don't know why we have a couch anymore. We only sit on the nuggets.
And if you Google search how much these things are later, you'll realize why we don't have a Company Cam studio or a podcast studio.
or terrible.
Or anything in the
they're not cheap. They're like... it's a toy that they can grow with.
Everybody who's building cool things around us, they have their kids, they're growing. They're not like little babies and toddlers, so they have time, they have money, they have resources, their kids are independent. We're over here just like, you know that meme that's like somebody swimming in the water and like their head is barely above water and they got like the high five and then like somebody like to grab their hand and instead of like grabbing their hand, like somebody else like high fives their hand and like it's like the meme of like a couple years ago during the president run for Trump and whoever. But it's like that's us right now. We're like drowning. We're like high five, like somebody grab our hand, but really it's just it's just high five and push us in the water. So this is our
Oh my God.
Oh my God! Holy smoker cough!
What was that?
I don't know what that was, but I just did the first ab crunch of 2022.
Oh, it's about to be over. That was your first one.
Listen, man, I'm getting started on 2023. We probably won't edit that out. That's just real life. So we're gonna do a podcast, kind of a year in review. It's been a wild year. I listened to Jeremiah Jennings and Savannah, and they were like, "We're in love, and our life is fun, and there's new things, and all their new news." And I just loved it. It was a fun podcast, and they're all like in love and sweet and kind. And I'm like, you and I are like chokehold each other. We are completely opposite. We are ludicrous. We
hate each other?
Not at all. I love you so much.
Said opposite.
There's just a lot of like
we're intense, you mean?
Very intense people. Which is wild. Like some people like see me on YouTube.
I think
we're
really fun, but we're also very intense.
Yeah.
We're very silly, but like we're just very extreme. It's like one extreme to the other.
It's just that's it.
I think most people call that bipolar.
There's probably a professional medical diagnosis for what we are, but we found love in each other. They say water in a hopeless place. We got to stop singing on the podcast. I think that's going to earn us a 1-star review. We found love though. Water sinks to its own level, so you know we do. Are you drinking your hot cocoa?
I made hot cocoa with special snowman.
That's true. So we found ourselves and we found love in each other. Well, we've loved ourselves and then we found each other, and that's where we're at today. So
what does this have to do with?
Well, I don't know. We're just dropping nugs, man. You got to love yourself, and then you can love each other.
Dropping nugs from the nugget.
How about that, Marriage Monday, Jeremiah Jennings? So what do we want to do? We want to do a year in review. I want to talk about the financials, the X's and O's of Brian's Lawn Maintenance. I do like the quarterly review thing that the almonds do. We just do not have the time to do that. Not that they have the time to do that. They throw it together.
They have 3 kids. They have one.
I just don't understand. I don't understand how they do it all. I like the quarterly review thing. We just go too fast to be able to even get you on the show and like button down and be like, hey, I need you 4 times a year. It's like, dude, no way. I want to do a quarterly review, talk about...
Well, it's just a priorities thing. I don't like when people say they can't do something.
No, that's true. 100%. It's just an excuse, but it's one of those things where I want to talk about just how we did as a company. We grew like crazy. Profit is up like crazy. I'm really proud of the business that we run. Like we create a ton of social media content. That's been a shtick, I guess, for the last 5 or 6 years, and we just throw our life up on the interwebs and just trying to help people out, pay it forward. If you guys don't know, we have a YouTube channel called Brian's Lawn Maintenance YouTube channel. We have the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast, Entrepreneur Academy, which is our training resources and courses. A little bit of this, a little bit of that. We're relaunching Building It Together, which is our Fullerton Party of 2 channel in 2023 to document more of our life. And then also the home build over the next 12, 18 months, which is going to be honestly probably the coolest thing that we've ever done together as a couple. Like the biggest, coolest thing that we've done together as a couple.
Yeah, forget the business, for the conferences that we run.
But that's what I'm saying. Like we've done a lot of we have done a lot of cool things.
Personal thing for us. We haven't really done anything like this magnanimous in our personal life. I guess we've done a lot. I'm really proud of what we've done, like business wise, and like.
We haven't done anything like outwardly. We haven't spent any money.
I mean,
like
not on the Tesla. Yeah, the Tesla doesn't count.
Well, yeah, dude, that was a whole funny, stupid, pretentious conversation on the way to the baby doctor.
Yeah.
We had an ultrasound today, and we were just driving, and I was like, if you make about this amount of much money, I think you'd be more comfortable. I think that's the number I would need to make to like actually take the pressure off. And it was a chunk. And Liz is like, oh yeah, no, like not making what we're making now. I go, I just feel claustrophobic. Like the more that we make, the more I realize how much it's not. And then when they take a third of it for taxes, like, dude, you make $150,000 a year or whatever. It's like, not that we're making that or we are making that. It's just, it's not a lot of money. It's just not a lot in today's world, dude. The last couple years, it freaks me out, and we're not like I get physically claustrophobic. Like so people are like, oh, I'm happy making $50,000 a year. I'm like, what are you eating? Dog food? and it's not a budget thing. It's not like we overspend. We have put a chunk of money in the bank this year. We've saved, I don't know, 50, 60, 70% of our income.
We saved more this year than we saved. I think our entire marriage combined in just 1 year.
100%.
Which is crazy.
But we were really focused on doing that. Like I know outwardly, because people are like, oh, you eat out a lot, or you bought the new truck. I put $20,000 down for the truck. That was $75,000. I promise you, I assure you, like we're doing, we're being good stewards, if you will, and we're living way below our means. We put a chunk of money in the bank from both companies combined, and we haven't really done anything like fun or cool other than a couple trips this spring. But a lot of the stuff that we travel for, it's business related, which is kind of a benefit of what we do with the social media business.
Yeah, it's true.
Like we flew to Tennessee, we did Together in the Trades. That was fun. That was cool. Travel but business but travel, right?
Yeah.
We did a couple family trips last year. In January, February, we did the Hype House, which was business.
That was this year.
Yep, that was 2022, and then we did our trip to Orlando. And I know I'm kind of hopping around a little bit here, but that's the thing. Like we have a lot of personal things that we were sandbagging on in 2022, so we could financially tackle all of them in 2023. And so I don't know if I'm like more looking forward to next year, but I just know like next year is it's the second coming of Jesus, as the Amish say, with the building of their shop, right? Because we hope to build our home, we hope to build our barn, acquire a tractor. We hope to maybe add another truck. We'll see.
Have a baby.
Have another baby. It's going to be wild.
And then another one.
Another one.
All the babies, please.
That's right. So you want to do a little year review? Let's talk personal life, and then let's also talk about the business, because I don't want people to, it's like Caleb Ballman has a line that he says many times on his show, like, it took me 10 years to become an overnight success. You know what I mean? Like I know a lot of people have said that over the success guru people of the world, right? Mm-hmm. And so I don't want anybody to see anything that we start building or breaking ground on or accomplishing in 23 to be like, oh man,
it came out of nowhere,
dude. No freaking way. So episode 200 with Paul Jameson, that was our getting out of debt kind of podcast, kind of like the last 3 or 4 years that we were really hustling and grinding to get out of debt. That podcast was recorded in 2019.
It was our first year here. I think it was our first LAL.
Yep. That was the year we bought our land.
It's the year you started the podcast.
Yep. So it's been 3, almost 4 years of us just putting money in the bank.
Yeah.
So we're going to be building and buying some nicer, bigger things in 2023.
It was weird this year, like a lot happened, but at the same time, a lot didn't. Like,
right.
We go to this place called Frankenmuth, Michigan. It's like a little Germanesque town. Mm-hmm. And Frankenmuth is known for like chicken and Christmas. It's like a whole thing. Google it.
Yep.
And they have a store called Bronner's there that's open. It's like 364 days a year. I think they're only closed on Christmas, maybe.
Well, 365. Yeah. Are they even? I would imagine they're closed.
I think they're closed on Christmas.
You're probably right.
And they have. It's the biggest. Think of like a few Walmarts put together, and it's all just Christmas.
I'd say it's about the size of a Walmart. It's big. It's not super big.
It feels big.
It does feel big because you're in a circle and you just keep like looping through this thing,
Yeah.
But it's basically the size of a Walmart.
It's really cool, and it's
all Christmas.
Any Christmas ornament you could want is there, and so we have a tradition of going with your mom and now Emmy to pick out ornaments that represent the year for places that we've been, or like when we go places, we try and pick up an ornament to represent that. Or like we have a Traeger and the pin that I pulled from the
fire
extinguisher like attached to it because we lit the grill on fire.
We bought
like
the
things
Traeger,
like that.
The Traeger,
so if we
ornament.
can't find them or whatever, like Frankenmuth is a really good place to go. And so we're trying to find ornaments there that like sum up our year. And we're like, well, really, I mean, we did travel a lot. And
what ornament did we get?
We ended up getting...
I can't believe I'm having a brain fart.
What did we get? We got Emmy ornaments, I think.
Yeah, I remember that. We got a couple things for her.
We pick out her own ornament. We got an expecting ornament.
Yep. We got the purple bulb that she loved, the metallic shiny.
Yeah, we put her name on it and
everything. She freaked out when I took it away, and she's like, ah!
Yeah, that was...
I was like, hey, this is like, she's picking up something that she likes, and then also I'm just keeping her quiet for $9.
We didn't even think about it, taking a almost 1.5-year-old to a store full of glass bulb ornaments. I mean, it's all in lights. And the fact that like we had to keep our hands occupied the whole time we were in there.
Yeah.
There was just so many things you could break.
We didn't do too bad though while we were there.
We had a couple of things, but like normally we'd have like, I mean,
one year we got the truck.
One year we got the truck. The next year we got like a microphone for starting the podcast.
I think a couple years before though, I got a camera, like a camera ornament because of YouTube.
You hit
100,000.
Your play button.
My silver play button.
So like we did all these things really like in rapid succession. We were having like all this outward success, and so going to Frankenmuth and getting these ornaments was so exciting because we got so many one year. Like it was insane.
One year I'm like,
we got the
Liz,
4-wheeler, like this, that, like it was just like, oh, we bought the land, like things are like happening.
I think we bought like 12 ornaments on 2019.
Just alone.
Yeah.
And which is amazing. Like, holy crap. But that was like 10 years worth of hustle coming to fruition.
Dude, for sure.
And so this year we're like, what do we get? And we're like, we didn't really do anything.
I was like, dude, I don't really know.
I know there's people in our life that are like, you guys never stop. To us, this year we didn't do anything.
We didn't like some things are still in continuation that we'll put a bow on in a couple years. I'm sure we'll close up a couple chapters. Other things we didn't start by design. We kind of had a false start on the home build. I guess it would be this same time last year was when we were looking to break ground. Because I pulled the e-brake right around just before Christmas.
Yeah, what a sad Christmas.
Yeah, so I pulled the e-brake just because the home we're building is a little bit nicer, so it costs a little bit more money because we kept adding square footage, not out of opulence, just out of necessity. But when you start doing that, because the home we want to build is going to be, and this is all what we can't wait to document on our second channel called Building It Together. We had it called Fullerton Party of 2. Caleb Robin's like, is it Fullerton Party of 3 now? And he's like laughing. And now that we have another baby, Fullerton Party of 4.
Yeah.
We said like,
we struggled with, we don't want I don't mind sharing Emmy on like
photos and Facebook
photos
once
and
in a
stuff
while
with other people in them. I'm still leery about photos without people. I don't know. I'm weird about internet safety for our kids, and I don't want
the kids will not be
channel to be about our kids.
We're not going to be a family vlogger channel. I actually despise family vlogger channel people. Like I think they are. I'm not even going to get into it because there's public things I'll say that I'm sure one day somebody will flip it back on me like, oh, see what you said there. But I just do not like family vlogger people. I think they exploit their kids, frankly, for clicks and views. And
it's just a dangerous road to go down if you're not very careful.
Yeah, and clickbait.
For multiple different reasons.
Clickbait is one thing. Kid clickbait is a whole other category. Yeah. So there's people I don't respect at all, and then there's people that I think need to be locked up. Yeah. And that's about probably 97% of the family vlogger genre and community. And I don't give a crap. I'll say that out loud. They're garbage people. And so we don't want to be like that. We want to share our family.
Yeah, I think there's a right way to do it where you can still share parts of family life, but not have like the camera in your kid's face 24/7.
And so we've always said we've never created content to quote unquote make money. We've made money with some of our content in the last year or two, but we've never done it to make money. And so you got to find that like balance between you want to share it because you're passionate about sharing and maybe inspiring or passing on the vision to somebody else. But there's also like throwing your camera in front of your kid's face and saying, dance or do something funny, or, oh, you lost a tooth, let's vlog it. Like, because it's going to get clicks and views and sensationalism.
Or so little Johnny pooped his pants and then that's your thumbnail. Like that's not cool.
Yeah, that's messed up. So we don't need to do that. We're not doing that. We wouldn't do that. So that's why it's this like balancing act of like, when do we want to start the channel? Because when we had Emmy, we were navigating what's appropriate, right? That was like a
whole, we thought we would, honestly.
We would share.
We would share more than what we did. We went from sharing everything to sharing absolutely nothing because we didn't know what we felt comfortable with.
Yep, we wanted time.
And so we took time as a family to kind of feel out where our boundaries are and stuff. And I think we're in a good spot now.
Yeah, so that's why the second channel that we started with our family channel, which Caleb Roman was actually DMing me earlier. He's like, dude, the early FPO2 videos are classics. Like, they're fun, they're cool. We were so young, so naive. They're circa 2016, 17, 18, 19 videos. It's
a lot of them are in our old apartment.
Yeah, it's authentic. Brian and Liz Fullerton from 16, 17, 18. So many husbands, if you guys are listening in, wives, love that channel. They love watching you, honey. So it's really cool to see your impact on so many people. Like, all the people were just laughing on the comments, like, you guys are real people and authentic. And we did a couple of vlogs out, just at the zoo or, family trips and stuff like that. So that's what I love to capture. I love capturing memories. You love capturing memories. So Fullerton Party of Two, we're going to rebrand to Building It Together.
Which is building the house, obviously, but also building our life and our business together. I think sharing behind the scenes, we say of our American dream, is really important to us, just to show that, like, not that we're anybody special, but like,
you can do it.
You can do it. And there's other people out there getting after it just as much as you are. And you're not alone.
It's going to be
so isolating when you think it's just you.
My goal is to make it just the authentic Americana, success story. Like, dude, like, we came from nothing. We have a little bit more. We're building a nice home. Like, we did it. You did it. It took 7 years. Really, it took 16, 17 years with Brian's Lawn Maintenance, 6, 7 years with our media business that we still reinvest heavily in. Just, giving you guys a little bit of a pry into our life. And that's where we really struggled with relaunching the second channel a couple of times last year, because I was like, we were building infrastructure for the business. We were building infrastructure with people, infrastructure with systems, infrastructure like making one YouTube video is simple to do. Making 10 YouTube videos, not that hard to do. Making 150 videos a year for 6 years straight, you need people, you need time, you need money, you need effort, you need editor people, you need thumbnail help. I mean, we do all of it. And I'm like, that's what I've really been trying to get ducks in a row, is have people help us with our team to be able to run the second channel, because it is really a whole nother business to be.
Yeah, it's a lot.
So that's something that I'm honestly probably more excited about anything. Of course, we're going to run the podcast. Of course, we're going to run Brian's Lawn Maintenance YouTube. But I really want to show a little bit more of our personal life and our personal wins, because we're so excited about it. Life has been so dramatically different the last 5 years.
We love sharing, like, just with people in general. Like, I love creating, and like, especially on Instagram, and like, just putting ourselves out there, because it's led to so many cool things that have happened in our life. We've met so many cool people, but it's like, I don't know, like we said, it was hard going through and like having a baby, and you're like, oh, do I really want to
put this thing on the internet?
And I mean, I do, but.
Well, let's take it back to the beginning of the year. So FBO2 is turning into Building It Together.
Yep.
Like, comment, subscribe. If you guys want to come swing on over, say hey. It's got 9,500 subscribers, whatever it is. I'm hoping to take that channel to 100,000 in 2023. So tell your.
That's one of our goals.
That is one of our goals that we're gonna be accomplishing that. I'm gonna get more physically fit in 2023. We don't have a list here, just so you guys know. But Jeremiah Jennings called me out. He said, "Hey man, I love you.
You guys are supposed to be doing 75 hard."
Yeah, he called me 75 soft the other day. To be fair though, he had sent me a photo of a breakfast casserole. I think it was some kind of casserole. It looked legit.
They're in the South. They eat good in the South.
Dude, it looked so good. And he goes, "We're starting on the 1st, right?" Which is this is like on like the 23rd or something like that. I go, "Yeah, buddy, I'm all about that life," because I'm like, we are totally starting this.
It's hard to make it through
after the holidays.
Well,
no
we have our
excuse.
Utah trip coming up, so.
Yep. Which I'm still going to work out there. You know what I mean?
Okay.
Alternative exercising. You'll figure it out later. So it's the best part about being pregnant is you can't get more pregnant. You know what I'm saying? So let's talk about.
I told you that wasn't true. There are people out there with 2 uteruses. 2 uterus.
Dude, let's stop, because I'm not even going to go down that route. I don't even. Let's just stop. Okay. So 2022.
It's bad when Ryan's like, let's just put a pin in
dude,
that.
because like that's how the podcast turns into 55 minutes, and your mom's over here, and she's like over here for the second time today.
We haven't gotten into anything.
So 2022, just pull it together, Fullerton.
So we went on a. Okay, can I share?
Well, no, let me cut you off. That's what I do best. Yeah. So, listen, 2021, 2020 and 2021, we went hard. We did so much stuff. Our goal at the end of 2021 was let's have a chill out year. Yeah. Remember this? So that's what 2022 was. That's this year. And that's why we didn't do anything extravagant. We didn't buy really anything extravagant. We didn't go anywhere super extravagant. We did a couple family trips, but we wanted to make family memories, right? That was the idea in 2022. Do you agree?
Yeah, we got really excited to build the house, and then that kind of like not fell through, but
it fell apart. Yeah.
Yeah. And we're like, okay, there's been so many times that we have, especially with like our living situation, just tried to force things to happen, and it's miserable, and you're angry and upset. And every time we try and force something, it doesn't work out. And then what ends up happening is always better than what we thought it would have been. So when the house kind of fell apart, we were like, okay, this time let's do things differently. Let's take a breath. Maybe like we're Christians, whether we believe like this or not, we're like, maybe God is, showing us something, or maybe we need to get something out of this that we're not even seeing yet. And it'll be better than what we expected, obviously, when the time does come. And we kind of were like, okay, well, what's on our heart that we could like learn from this season? We're like, I think we need time to take as a family. This is our first full like year having a kid. Like it's our last year of having a kid, a solo kid, because we wanted to kind of quickly have another.
Sure.
And so we just took the time to just be and breathe and do little things like make breakfast every morning. And not to say like we didn't work hard still, Brian, like you put in more hours this year than I think you have ever on different projects and stuff, but it was just different. Like there wasn't a urgency to outwardly have success. It was definitely an internal year.
Well, and that's the thing. We wanted a family year because we had been going so hard in 18, 19, 20, 21. We get to the end of 21 and instead of going from fifth gear to dropping the hammer and going into sixth gear, timing, we looked at the house, looked at the building prices, we looked at the down payment, everything that we had going on, what we had, just life and business and support system wise. And I said, dude, like we could ramrod this thing to sixth gear. I said, I think this is let's just downshift a little bit. Let's not blow the engine, right? Let's hit the pit stop for just a quick second, get some new tires, get some new oil, get some more fuel. Let's get back out there, get another hot lap, and then come 2022, we're going to have a good year, and then 2023, we're going to drop the hammer.
And I think that was for us looking back, just looking and talking right now about where we were at the same point last year. Like we decided, okay, we're not going to build the house right now. Let's travel. Let's do a couple things before the season starts. Yep. And we took our trip to Utah.
Yep.
And I think if we hadn't taken that trip to Utah, Brian,
we would have spun out.
I don't know how our marriage would be. I don't know how our business would be because we weren't honestly in like a super good spot.
Well, we were go business wise, and there's fun, and there's seasons of that.
Yeah.
But you cannot do it forever.
Right.
And so when I've been saying that for years, now, it wasn't me even taking a page out of my own book. It was me just doing inventory. Like I really, as just a husband, as a provider, as a leader of our family, I was like, dude, it's whatever we gain in 2022, like whatever we do, if we just have another decent year in 2022, it'll guarantee that we build our house in 23.
We literally sat down at the end of 2021 and said, if our 2022 looks exactly as 2021 did,
yep,
it'll be fine.
We didn't add a view, didn't add a sub, didn't add a sponsor, didn't add a lawn client, didn't add a snow client.
Like not only will things be fine, they'll grow just
organically.
So,
but I was like, if we just chill out, do an inventory. And by the way, maybe this is helping some of you guys out that you're not having the most stellar year, or maybe 2022 wasn't the most exciting, rambunctious year. Like a lot of people are building stuff and buying stuff, and that's cool. Maybe it's not every year is like a home run kind of a year. In fact, I think everybody did really well in 2020 with COVID, all things being said.
It was a hard year, but
totally. I think 2021, maybe you guys listening in could agree, 2021 was a more challenging year, I think, than anybody really gave it, paid any attention to it or gave it, any time of day. I think 2021 was a really interesting year. I think 2022, this year, I haven't really talked to anybody that's having a down year, a rough year, a tough year, other than existential circumstances that you couldn't control, like family, life, health, that kind of stuff. So everybody's had a pretty above average year. There's still the typical challenges out there. I think things cost more in general, but we're raising our prices accordingly. So hopefully we're softening that blow. But I think what's really going to shine a light into people that are succeeding in 2023 and 2024 are the people that were staying steady through 2021 and building through 2022. And hopefully we can catch the wind to our sails and really throw double down in 23 and 24. I don't know if that's going to be economically the win to our sales, but I think if you put in some personal fortitude and some mental fortitude and relational equity into you, your family, your leadership, your ability to solve problems and to grow as a human being, I think you will make more headway in 23 and 24 because so many people are going to just get slapped around like a cat with a little mouse financially in 2023 and 2024 because the economy, if it is in a recession and all this other mess, and I'm not a doom and gloom guy, I couldn't care less. We're still going to grow. We're still going to make a killing. But I think so many people are going to take their foot off the pedal and their hand off the plow in 23 because they're going to listen.
They've had a couple of good years. And
they've had a couple of good years. They're riding it out. They're not paying dues. They're not putting gas in the fire. You can never let your foot off the gas. You can shift gears, but you have to know when to go higher, go harder, when to chill out, like not burn yourself out. It's a marathon, not a sprint. But I just really see so much conversation and language in 23 that people are like, oh, it's going to be a challenging 2023. Like, I hate that kind of conversation. We've recognized that kind of conversation. People had that conversation in 08, 09, 10. People had that same attitude and conversation in 2019 and 20 with COVID. And you need to avoid that stinking thinking poverty mentality like crazy. That's a cancer that gets into you. So what we've been trying to do is invest in ourselves as a couple, really put some equity there, really put some equity as a family.
We simmered it down. Like if you cook, you know what I'm talking about, when you simmer a soup down to you kind of evaporate some of that water out and you
suck up the butter
it in a way.
Or it sucks up the butter.
Kinda, yeah.
That's your turkey.
Like we really, really simmered down with our family and our personal business.
It was a priority for us.
And I think we're in a really good spot.
It
was a hard decision to make as more driven people to kind of okay, we're not taking on any necessarily new projects. I mean, you did the tours and stuff, I guess, this year.
Oh, well, can I talk about that for a second? So that was also another thing too. I said, in 2022, we've been doing YouTube for 6 years now. I said, dude, we've created 900, I think it was over 1,000 videos I looked. I think we're 1,050 videos. I said, I've created so much content on us, our life, on me, our business, everything we're doing. That's cool. That's fun. That's awesome. That was the idea of the channel. But I said, what else am I going to film on? I was we keep doing, okay, we get a new mower, we lay stripes diagonal instead of north and south, you know what I mean? Or east and west. I said we could change up the mowing pattern and we could also cover the new Exmark Vertex, which has been a great, 500 hours on that thing. Love that thing. Shout out to the Exmark people. Great mower. Literally hands down my favorite mower. And I'm not just saying that, I'm telling you it's a Cadillac. But I was there's not going to be too many exciting new things in 2022, other than maybe getting the new truck and the F14, which in their own right, 5-6 years ago for us, that would have been transformative, life-changing, oh my God, cry, thank Jesus, which we all did any which way. But I said, there's not going to be anything super exciting going on because we knew we weren't building the barn, we weren't building the house, we were just trying to survive with Emmy, the early part of the year. Mm-hmm. And so I said, let's do this. Let's film outwardly. Let's go see the people. Let's go see everybody listening in. We did the spring shop tour series. We did 8 shop tours with 8 different great people. Alex Nickens, Andy Mulder, Josh Sutton, the Almonds, name one, name them all, but great people. Amazing reception. People love that. And of course I was doing a little what do you call it? Information gathering for our barn.
Yeah.
I'm hey, Andy, tell me more. Hey,
what
Almonds,
what did you not like?
What would you do different? How did you finance this thing? Or did you pay cash? Or what do you think about this? Or what do you think about infrared heating and all this other stuff, right? Open sell, close sell. Thousands of conversations, great time. Summer tour series, right? So we're adding our personal vlogs while on Barns on Maintenance while going outward and filming other people. Did the teenager entrepreneur series, right? That was super fun. Highlighted 6 young teenagers across Michigan, a couple out of the state. Amazing time. Those videos had hundreds of thousands of views. I wanted to highlight the kids, the teenagers. They're kicking butt. Kids running $50,000, $80,000, $400,000, $500,000 businesses. These kids are doing more revenue that I shared publicly. They're hey, let's keep it low key. There's kids that are doing a couple $100,000 that you wouldn't believe. There's some of them are doing $500,000 plus. And people are I call BS. I'm I call you stupid. What do I care? What do I care? I'm going to go pull their tax return. Who cares? But these kids are killing it. That we repurposed a bunch of that content on Facebook. That it blew up on Facebook as well. Because where else are you going to see a kid making $70,000 who's 17 years old?
That was a new thing this year too. We got on Facebook. We've been on Facebook, but
I've been really doubling down on Facebook in a social media realm aspect, I should say, because it's not dead. There's a lot of views, a lot of clicks on Facebook.
Are the increasing labor, fuel, and material expenses affecting your bottom line? In order to battle against these fluctuating market factors, it's important to understand your numbers and shift your strategy if needed as the economy changes. Having a team to handle the bookkeeping and CFO services will help you stay ahead of these changes. The team at Cycle CPA provides reports on a monthly basis to ensure you are making a profit and hitting your goals. Comparing your reports to past periods, green industry benchmarks, and comparing between service lines will help to underline areas that need to be improved on for the next period. Visit their website, cyclecpa.com, and mention Brian's podcast to receive $200 off on bookkeeping and CFO services.
Also, lawn care wise, so like two parallel paths, we're building the business, we're building the social media business, but lawn care wise, we pruned a lot of customers, we raised a lot of rates.
Which is always really scary. We've done this a few times now.
For you,
since we've been married.
The first time was scary for me. Once I realized it worked, I was like, dude, we just busted the dam.
It just is. Like, I don't know, like raising rates, I don't know what point you get comfortable with it, or like pruning customers. And like, but we worked hard to get that business.
I know,
like
that's the crazy
it's
part.
It's really hard. And so, but it was so good.
Yeah.
Maybe I'll learn a lesson this year. I don't know.
We've canceled like routes. We've canceled people. We've canceled subdivisions. We've lost contracts. And I'm like, screw you. I'll replace you with, better people. And we have.
Yeah.
And we did. It's wild. Like, I'm telling you, we are the most moldable, whatever you call it, like wet clay type people right now in our life. We're like, God, use us because we are being formed and molded. And sometimes you like have a little pick tool that like takes a little piece off, and another time it's like this like big chunk that gets removed from you in this like clay example, and you're like, that didn't feel good. God, I hope that's okay. I don't know if you guys can relate, because sometimes you're just like, what the heck happened?
Cauterized and stuff.
Yeah. So the business has been just a wild run, a wild ride. New employees, people came, people go. Rob's still here. He's kicking butt. Mark's back, which is great. I told Mark, I said, dude, I'm not paying you to stay. I'm paying you to not leave. What do you want? Like, let's talk. Let's seriously talk. So I'm trying to bribe him to stick around and, just throw the kitchen sink at Mark, as well as Rob. He's been doing great. So Summer Tour Series was incredible.
Yeah.
We did, dude, then the fall. Holy cow. I think the 90 days of fall, September, October, November, even December.
I feel like we're just starting now to like
decompress.
Yeah, because it literally was, you did the fall tour, we had fall cleanups, we had Expo, we had LAL, and then we were right back, I guess actually doing the cleanups because the weather was so weird.
Yep.
And then I heard this is a long season. Like,
and the fall tour.
And then the
fall shop tour.
The fall tour. But then you had to go right into the winter tour because like you can't just randomly leave as easily in the winter for these places that you're going to be touring, because we could get snow, you could get snow, you could get stuck there, you could get stuck here. Like,
I'm simultaneously running the business, of course, but then on the YouTube content, simultaneously like recording personal vlogs for our own company while also pointing the camera out and going on the fall tour series. So it's like video outward, video inward, video outward, video inward, video inward, video outward.
It was a lot of balancing.
So while I'm going to Equip, while we're going to LAL, the week of LAL on the Monday, I'm in Fargo, North Dakota. Tuesday, something like that, I was in Philadelphia for Sours. Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, getting ready for LAL. The following Monday, going out to see Christian with CNI. Dude, that is a crazy schedule. And
we've decided for us in our marriage, we don't always have to, but it's more preferable, especially with having kids, if you are like in and out the same day.
I do in and outs only.
But that's hard too. Like it's just,
people don't understand how that goes.
That's
a 4:30 to 5-6 a.m. flight out, which means I'm up at 3 or 4 to get to the airport by 5-6 to catch a 6-7. I land at 10 or 11s. I film for 3 hours, podcast and film. I mean, you want to be exact. I mean, it's like, people that create content on YouTube, that try creating YouTube. They're like, this is ridiculous. You do this all the time. I'm like, bro, it's insane. It's insane. I'm telling you, and I'm not trying to like pump myself up. I'm just telling you guys, like, it's insane to like land a plane, catch a ride, mix, do a podcast on the mixer, record a video, one shot, one take, nobody mess up. Let's kill it. And then do the best we can, of course, with the limited resources.
Only get so much time there.
Only get so much time. Get back. Flyback, it's always I get home at 9, 10, 11, 12, wigged out. Like it's that.
You didn't stop moving since you woke up.
No,
that day.
didn't stop moving, didn't stop talking. The next day I'm wiped out.
Hey.
Yeah, hey.
We did Energize this year. That's new.
That was cool.
We're talking through this. We actually did a lot this year. It didn't seem like as gargantuan for some reason, but now that we're talking about it, it was a very busy year.
It is, but
it's like our normal, I think.
This was like a normal year, though, folks.
But this was a relaxed year for us.
This is a relaxed year.
There's something wrong with us.
There's something wrong with us. How'd you say that? I'm like now more consciously. I'm more like now I'm more sweating even more. I'm like, I think I was on like. Emmy was on 14 flights this year.
Yeah.
I was on like 22, 24 flights. I got platinum status almost here on Delta. I'm gold status, but almost platinum status because of how much we spent and how much I flew.
We didn't do anything.
We didn't do anything this year.
What does it look like when we do?
I will. That's what 2023 is going to look like.
2023 is
I'm going to build an empire.
Yeah.
I have building it. It's going to come to. We've been collecting the resources to build it. I'm going to build a castle in 2023 and the barn and the house and all that
Are
mess.
you going to tell them?
Oh, I don't even know what you're saying. Lip it really quick. So lip it while I'm talking.
That we're pregnant, obviously.
Oh,
No.
yeah. Oh, the
book.
Oh, yeah, it's done. Okay, so
On top of all of that, Brian also wrote a book.
yeah,
He's being so bashful about it. But
because like, dude, it's the one thing that I've really put time and effort into that.
I think you're like shy about it.
I am. I really want it to do good. Books get chewed up more than any content,
Yeah.
like social media wise. Like,
If
dude,
you were going read through Amazon reviews, just any book, it doesn't matter.
Oh my
Subject
God.
matter, anything. Go read like the negative reviews. They are brutal.
there's an element of me that's a people pleaser, and I just want to do a good job. And so and then I've read reviews of other people's books, long or otherwise, right? And man, you've never seen so many people just chastise people that write books. And here's the thing: I am barely a YouTuber. I am barely a podcaster, and now you're going to add author. You know, if there's any one word in the verbiage of adjectives that you could describe Brian Fullerton, it would 1000% never be author, right? I mean, I can do a blog post and then so when I ever submit a blog post, just showing my cards here, tip of my hand, I write a blog post and then whatever company I do it for, I say, can you please clean this up? I beg them. Can you ghostwrite and clean this up? I write the article.
Yeah, but they do like edit it and make sure it makes sense. Like grammar-wise, yeah.
Because I am not a punctuation person. I'm pretty good at spelling. I will tip
Brian
my
won
hat.
spelling bee, so
I was like the spelling bee champion of like my school. I'm like,
his mom still has the trophy.
bro.
This isn't a joke.
Now everybody's gonna be like, Fullerton, why are you spelling words wrong? I am a good speller. I pride myself on that. I don't know why, but I do. But grammar. Dude, no way. Like writing, I'll give you guys a for instance. I'm using I'm writing out the whole book. By the way, quick shout out to Paul Jameson, who's helped me navigate all this, as you guys can
What
imagine.
a server, dude. Can we just give Paul like a really big shout out? Because there's been a few things this year
I
he's
owe
helped us with that
Paul,
he had no reason to.
No, I owe Paul a Mercedes or a slingshot. I don't know, like depending on book sales. Paul's the man, dude. Like
I don't think Paul's a Mercedes guy.
Wait, when he finds a wife, let's buy him a honeymoon. You know what I mean? Like we'll send him on a cruise. You know what I mean? Something like that. That'd be like the nicest thing to do. Paul, we'll buy you a cruise for your honeymoon.
I can't wait for Paul's wedding.
Well, he doesn't know it's a 3-day cruise. It's one of those like beer drinking ones that just turns around in Orlando's port. You know what I mean?
I hope he invites us to his wedding because I want to dance at his wedding. I'm so excited for him.
We'll get him a little 3-day honeymoon cruise.
3-day honeymoon.
The beer drinking, like
he doesn't drink. I doubt that his
no.
wife will drink.
That's not my problem. But he'll have all the best places because like all the pools will be empty because we'll be at the bar. But no, so
a booze cruise.
The booze cruise. That's what they're called. That's what they're called. The spring break.
Like Cancun.
The spring break. That's what I'm saying.
Cancun's on the ocean.
I would totally do a booze cruise. Just like imagine how many things wouldn't be in use.
Paul would be miserable.
No, I know,
There'd
but
be so much like chaos and stuff around him. That
it'd be funny, like plopping 2 Christians on the boat. Like,
Yeah.
not that you can't be Christian and drink, but you know what I'm saying. Like, let's leave that one alone for now. But I asked Paul for a ton of help, and so in when Paul came out with his book, it was 2019, if I'm not mistaken, because we went to the Hype House in 20, right? Because he had his book there at the live streams, and so I was like, Paul just is a pioneer in doing so much stuff, and he's figuring things out. So when he helped me launch that podcast this year, but I really wanted to write some books. I've been working on this isn't a bandwagon thing. I'm bashful because I don't want people to think, oh, just another thing you're hawking. Dude, no way. Like, I have such a fun story that I wanted to share personally that I've written this book out mentally for almost
I can vouch
2
for
years
this.
now.
Brian is a notes app on the iPhone kind of a guy.
Yeah.
Every video you see, every podcast you hear, every talk that he gives, I mean, he's got lists about me, like my favorite foods that he can pick up at restaurants. Like, this man has more notes on his notes app than anybody. And one of them has been, I don't know if it started originally as a book or a talk that he wanted to give, but it's turned into a book where it's been outlined for years.
I've been writing it for 2+ years.
Yeah.
you know.
And I think you're bashful about it because you have put so much of yourself into it. It's different. Like, you're the same Brian on camera as you see in real life. You're the same Brian especially on this podcast, as you would hear from in real life. But there's just something different about putting out your written story. There's something about the written
it
word.
really is. It's weird.
It's a very vulnerable thing.
It really is.
And there is so much of you and just your story and like your life, like in this book.
Yeah.
And I'm just so proud of you.
Thank you.
I can't wait for it to come out.
I'm writing that when I was writing the book, there's many a times I was crying at 10 o'clock at night writing this thing because it just digs up wounds, dude. Like,
getting like misty-eyed right now.
I am, because it's
You're making me misty-eyed.
I really just hope it's well received. I'm writing 3 books. One is how to start a lawn care business. Another one's going to be basically how to better your lawn care business. And then the third one is a book that's going to be, I'm not going to release that one just yet.
We'll keep that one secret.
But I got the other 2 outlines. I'm busting those out as well. The first book is done. We're going through the editing process. By the time you guys are hearing this, hoping to have it out obviously for a February, March, April release. This stuff takes time. It's not you write it and it's up tomorrow. It's a month to get it done, a month to get it edited, a month to get it audible, a month to get it all approved. And so I feel like writing is the easy part. Although I have there's about 19 or 20 chapters in it. Each chapter took me about an hour to 2 hours to write. And then to go through the grammar.
And that's after having it like outlined and basically a first draft written on your phone.
Oh yeah.
So like that's not even like really the first time you wrote it out.
No, dude. I don't even know how you quantify it. Because like what you write down also is not what you mentally think about. Mm-hmm. I'm like, that's a good story. I haven't told that one. I want to share this one. Rehash this one.
We got a subscription to Grammarly.
I did. I really did.
Like, what are you trying to say here? This
dude.
isn't making any sense.
So this is how embarrassed I am because I'm not a writer. Like maybe you guys listening and you want to write a book one day. I totally implore you to do it. Reach out. I'll try to help you out, right? Or reach out to Paul, and make sure you pony up to Paul because he's worth it with his time and effort. But I wrote out the book and I'm interjecting it into Grammarly, which is like an editing grammar app, grammar website. Which basically, like, once you put my chapter in there, it's AI. Lights up my paragraphs like a Christmas tree. Okay, red line, green line,
like
purple line, sentence structure, word structure. Like, I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, am I this stupid?
I'm like, I need this app on my phone.
Dude,
I sound like an idiot.
So there's an extension that's there's a free one, by the way, if you guys want to plug it in on your web browser for Chrome. At least it works for my Chrome on my iMac. But when I write emails now, like even my emails, like a 3-sentence email reply to like a commercial client, bro, it's like seven red underlines, 3 green underlines. It's like, I think you mean this.
It sounds like we might be keeping the subscription.
Oh my God. I am so mentally deficient when writing.
No, it's just a skill.
I mean, like proper grammar, I am a F student. There's no doubt about it. So anyway,
my mom, she's a retired teacher.
No friends and family. No, nothing like that. It's going to Upwork. Okay. But look, here's the deal. Putting it into Grammarly, just a little behind the scenes for you guys, is like the chapter got lit up like a Christmas tree.
It did.
And I was like, it took me an extra hour just to go through the edits.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God. So after like the first 3 chapters, I'm like, I started this months ago. I was like, Liz, this is going to take months, a year, like really. And
it's been a lot of late nights.
I have, dude, 20 chapters. Each one takes 20 hours to total to write, and then another 20 so far on Grammarly. So there's, when you break it down, cost per average of like what we'll actually make with time invested, I'll probably make like $12.50 like for the book, like $1 an hour or $1 a minute. But it's wild. But I'm hoping it's a good book that can help new people start a lawn and landscaping business. If you're 5 years into this thing, you don't need the book. There's it's not going to really tell you anything grandiose that's going to help you immediately change your business. The second book is designed for those people because I really want to talk about what changed for us after being in business for 10 or 11 years and then where we're at today. Because this last 5-6 year window went from no money, no influence, no nothing, no success, no anything I'd be proud about to this year making $110,000 with our business, true net profit on $300,000 in revenue. And I'm really, really excited about that. So it's not the biggest business in the world. It's a very profitable business. It's a great work-life balance business. That's working about 38 hours a week in the summer and about 15 to 20 hours a week, maybe in the winter. Maybe. I say maybe because you get a snowstorm. We were out for 3 days straight, working 30 hours in 3 days. But the other 10, 12, 15 days between snowstorms, we're kind of chilling. So to make $150,000 in snow revenue in 4 months, clearing more than half of that in profit, I'd say it's a stout lifestyle. I'm not here to argue with somebody that's like, we do $1 million a year and I've got 12 employees and 6 trucks and, $350,000 in equipment. Dude, God bless you. We are lean. We are mean. We are a profit-making machine. I couldn't care less. I'm not in competition with anybody, but I would just ask anybody listening to this show, I don't care your income level. If you're working 30 to 40 hours a week, not killing yourselves, not killing your guys, making $110,000, your guys are making 50,000s. I mean, come on. Like, that's a stout business. That's a stout income. That's a stout lifestyle. I'm happy with it. I'm so proud and happy with where our business is. I was sharing numbers with Bedell the other day. Mm-hmm. He gave, the little congratulations emoji, the guy with the little purple hat with the little streamer, he's like, dude, thumbs up, congratulations. He's like, dude, I can't believe how far you've come in the last 5 years. I'm like, I know. It's not even the same.
We went from like a hobby business to...
Oh, I would not.
I don't even know if you call it a hobby business.
We were making no significant money a couple years ago, and so that goes full circle to in 2019, we were really starting to catch our stride and making some money. Got out of debt. It was a good year, not because of YouTube, nothing like that. We've just been banking that money. We're still just banking that money, and then basically the last 3 years, we've really been putting money in the bank and just living below our means. I bought the Tesla. We bought the newer truck this year. The watch. Which one?
Exactly.
Okay. I saw what you did there. Well played. That was a good tee up. B&B ratted me out on one of his podcasts in the summertime. It was after Together in the Trades because we were driving to Postcard Mania. Mm-hmm. And he did a podcast shortly thereafter. I don't know. And he was like, yeah, I was driving with Fullerton and Fullerton likes his watches. And B&B said something like, I was almost like, hey, can you edit that out? But he was like... Because it was just like revealing, and it was like he's like, yeah, Fullerton has his watch, and he really likes it, and B&B's like, don't let him fool you. He's got some watches, and I was like, I don't have any watches, bro. What are you talking about? And that's what I
have as many watches as I have handbags.
Yeah, I bought some luxury watches. I don't care. I've made some money. I wanted to buy nice things.
And guns, you bought. Well, no, we don't own them anymore.
I don't have any guns. They're in a trust that's owned by somebody that I rent occasionally, like Top G. I have a yacht that's registered in Monaco. That's a portion of my company owns a share that I might borrow from time to time. Top G, which I like. It's funny and it's basically true. Not with our ammo and gun supply, but. I bought a couple watches. I don't know, like over the years. I bought one a year. You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you?
That math isn't mathing. Okay.
That math isn't mathing. Shout out to my boy. Well, that's because I listen to my friends that listen to the show. You guys listen in. You guys are bad influence on me.
So you're saying that you're easily swayed by
the opinions of people. I'm a people pleaser. I told you that. So
it's terrible.
I got friends out there. B&B bought a watch. How about
B jumps off a bridge? Or you
I mean, if it's into like a freshwater pool or something, I don't know, or onto a yacht, I don't know. Mike Garvey.
Hey, B&B bought that.
He bought an Escalade. Yeah, you guys are roasting me because I bought a watch that's a couple bucks.
No, they deserve that.
They've been working their butts off too. They bought Natalie a new Escalade. Well, I
want to know how she likes it because I love my Tesla.
Oh, go ahead. This is a whole nother. Fullertons are they're so humble. Let's talk about their problems.
I will drive the Tesla for the next 10 years. But
we love the Tesla.
We physically can't fit
more than 2-3 kids in there. Two kids in there.
3 would be
no way. There's no way. I will argue with anybody all day that's got another Model X. Oh, you can't fit 3 kids in there. Watch me. No, you can't. So I'm hoping Elon stops messing and wasting time with Twitter.
What is he doing?
He should just delete it. It'd be just literally fire everybody, delete the source code. Something, of course, would replace it 2 minutes later. That's the problem, and fill that vacuum. But it would take 10 more years. At least, humanity could have its sanity back for another decade.
Anyways, we've gotten really off track.
Of course, that's what happens when you join the show. Because I just get lost in your eyes.
I could do my own podcast. I have a lot of words.
You could definitely. Are they good grammar words?
No,
no,
they are not.
Thank God the slack that you get by having a public podcast. But if Elon could come out with an SUV, like an Escalade or a Tahoe, that would be the ticket because we would trade in, trade up. But you were looking, I'm trying to sell you on an Escalade because we would just do a lateral with the Tesla.
Like the Volvo.
The XC90.
Yeah.
It is a beautiful vehicle.
We've taken none of these for a test drive and we're not buying a new vehicle immediately. But I was just saying I want to ask Natalie how she likes it.
Oh, the Escalade?
Yeah. That's a really cool mom-mobile.
I was talking on a podcast recently. I said I'm going to get you the Escalade V Sport.
No.
For safety.
You almost had me believe during Christmas.
That's the only trim.
Because there was we do 4 gifts: want, need, read, and wear, and then we do stockings. And there's a couple things in my stocking, but there wasn't it wasn't full,
Because it was 4 things.
No, stockings don't count.
Oh. Well, I got you the back scratch. You want to talk about that?
No.
So you scratch your butt crack? No. Because you're pregnant.
What?
You can't reach around. So you were
What are you talking about?
Oh, now embarrassed now, huh?
Super look pregnant right now.
Now who's sweating? Yeah, I got you the twin pack of scratchers. One's the metal one. One's the rake.
Itchy. Not my butt though. My butt's fine.
You have an itchy butt?
No. Anyways, you were joking about how there was keys or something, or I
said, look out the window.
Escalade was outside.
Look out the window.
I would have killed
Look out the window.
you. I would have used that Escalade to put your dead body in and drive it out into the middle of nowhere to bury it.
Oh, because that escalated quickly.
Escalated quickly.
I had to. That was a good dad joke. Well, we don't have to really come out of pocket though, because we could just trade in the Tesla, and I might lose 10 G's on that.
I love my Tesla.
I love the Tesla. It's a cool car. Anybody who wants to get a Tesla, get a Tesla. It's legit. But the Cadillac V Series Escalade.
I'm just not a GM person.
I mean, either. Government Motors, who wants that? But you know what? I'll tell you what. The V Series, 675 horsepower. That thing can burn out. It can do little donuts. And can you imagine your kids in the back and a 7,500-pound SUV?
Doing donuts? They better not be.
I mean, what happens with daddy stays with daddy. That's what the car seats are for. But anyway, what do you think when we get the kids, if we get a Plaid Tesla one day, if I can upgrade and finance the extra $50,000 over 144 months?
You have a whole plan. I know you have a whole plan about buying this.
You're just a pawn in the chessboard, dude. You're doing stuff now that you never even expected. You were just serving me some chicken wings.
How many people want to bet they're going to have a new car before this baby's here because you just have.
I'm not buying a new car. I'm not. I'm not. I'm building a barn and a house. Okay. I have no money. Now a slingshot? My issue right now is I don't have any space. I've been putting in work.
We beyond have no space. Have no space.
We have space at your guys' place. You don't even know that yet. All you guys listening in. But listen, my challenge is the space. So if I get space, I can get a slingshot.
No.
Why not?
We're just going to enjoy having space. Empty space.
Like wide open spaces?
Try it out for once. Yeah.
Try it out. We've had no space.
We are terrible. I say we. It's really me because this Christmas, like a typical mom, I do all the research about the kids' toys and stuff and things we want to, because we only do the want, need, read, and wear. We get pretty intentional with it. So for Emmy's need, she needed a place to climb because this kid is driving us insane. You look at her and she's standing or playing with something 1 second, turn your back for literally half a second, she's on top of the kitchen table. I'm like, how did you get here?
I'm like, get down, Coyote Ugly.
I wish that was an exaggeration. There's been multiple times we turn around and our kid's on top of the table. I don't know what that says about us as parents.
She scaled her chair.
She scales her own high chair when she's ready to eat.
Like Rampage. Like Spider-Man.
Like King Kong on the whatever.
We're hoping baby building. Number 2 is the chill baby.
God, I hope so.
Because we keep saying, what if she's the trick baby?
I know. So long story short, we got a pickler triangle, but it folds up into the closet to give her a safe outlet for climbing. But that takes up a lot of space when it's open. Yeah. And then her want, because I'm a sucker, terrible mom. She loves to cook with us.
You're not a sucker. You're being a good mom.
I got her own kitchen. But remember, we don't have space. So our little play kitchen's in our living room. Anyways.
It's working though. You know what I mean? Like, what's wrong with that?
Because in a year from now, what do you think this place is going to look like when we move out of here?
So
the movers that we hire are going to be like, they're just going to leave. Have problems.
The semi truck pulls up and it just leaves. Like, how much stuff could really be in that?
I'm thinking about getting rid of the couch.
No, that's a nice ass couch. No way.
At minimum, the coffee table.
No, I like the coffee table.
We got rid of the TV.
Well, listen, we'll talk about that another time. We got rid of the... Why? Because the TV didn't like the TV? You want a 100-inch TV there?
Taking up too
Big time?
much space.
No, it's because Emmy's, we don't let her watch an ounce of TV and phones other than when we travel in the car. She watches Miss Rachel, and everybody knows Miss Rachel.
We had put it on the TV in the living room a couple times. Kid addicted immediately.
We
and
immediately
like, not doing
removed the
a
TV.
kid.
We didn't even just turn it off. We got rid of the TV.
Took it off the wall. It's done.
We don't even watch TV anyway. Like, literally, we don't watch TV.
I know people are like, "Henry, you're about to have another one. Good luck with that."
I literally don't care. I'm going to give them a Power Wheels and they can go on the land and they can go dig holes. I do not care. They're not watching TV ever. And I don't care. That's just, I'm going to be an extremist with that because you know what? I just don't care. They're not getting little stupid iPads. They're going to go learn in nature and they're going to go join dad in the barn and we're going to go wrench on stuff. So I digress. So anyway,
Chase the chickens.
She's going to have chickens and we're taking some pages out of the almonds books. And
are we getting a horse?
No, we will never get a horse.
We're getting a horse.
We will never get a horse. If that horse comes
if you
in,
a slingshot, I'm getting a horse.
That's not actually any ounce of negotiation.
Or
Tandem Marriage would love your negotiation style. Basically, Brad, is that my wife is a terrorist, and Brad and Tammy. And Tammy's going to go, so Liz, would you be willing to compromise and meet Brian halfway? No, Tammy, I wouldn't. No, I'm not. I don't care. And the fact that you're wasting my time is I'm going to bill you, Tammy.
Do you want a hairy cow?
We're not having cows. We're not having horses. You will not live there. It's cheaper to get divorced than it is to buy a house or buy a horse. There's no way we would have a cow. There's no way anybody listening to the show is going to be like, yeah, Liz, you should get a cow. You should do public Twitter polls like Elon does. Like, should we reinstate Project Veritas? Yes or no? And everybody's like, yeah. Should Liz buy? No, you know what? Shit.
I'm thinking, I'm like, think about who listens to the show. I already can name off like 5 people right now.
All the people listening
would DM you and be like, let Liz get her cow.
No, all the people listening would do it just to spite me. And then all the haters.
I have no idea how to take care of these things. I grew up where like
that's the problem.
The sidewalks never end and like
the sidewalks never end.
There's public transit.
That sounds like the beginning of like a love song.
It means to have farm animals, but I will figure it out. And then if there's an apocalypse or the end of the world, I will have.
The apocalypse is getting a horse. There's no way.
You could eat the horse.
Yeah, I'm not. I could eat chickens too, and they're easy to manage and take care of. We will never have a horse. Let's move on because we're going to build the house and the barn. That's what we've been sandbagging for in 2020. We're just not going to have that conversation ever again with horses or cows. We will never. Liz Fullerton, you will. This isn't the part in the movie where it flips forward.
Do you remember when Brittany and I tricked you for Emmy's birthday? I was like, oh, the almonds are bringing.
It's been a while since I've actually got physically mad. And then I got mad at Brittany Almond. Like mad.
Brittany.
Like really, like real mad. I was like, Brittany, I'm really mad at you.
I told Brian that the almonds were coming up for Emmy's birthday and that they were bringing a horse. And he's like, no way, I'm fact checking you. I'm going to text them right now. And of course, I knew Brittany would have my back.
That was good.
And immediately she's like, oh yeah, I got the tags and everything to bring it across state lines. You guys, I have no idea if you need tags to bring a horse across state lines or not. Brian has no idea.
We don't even know what that means.
But it sounded really good. And Brian was like, no way, there's a horse
going to
show up at the birthday party.
There's no horse.
And he was dead convinced that.
I was mad. I was like, I'm going to find out.
Mad. We almost had to leave the restaurant.
I was going to find out. Well, because, I mean, think of it. That was in like summer or spring maybe when you guys were joking about that.
But I said
6 months
were going to take
before.
it home and care for it until we finished the land. But that was Emmy's birthday present.
It's not happening. We will never have a horse. They're disgusting, stupid animals. They're
smart.
I don't care how smart they are. They're so disgusting. They smell. They poop. They're ridiculous.
I've never even been on a horse.
Listen,
so.
but the reason I have lack of trust between you and the now apparently is because the hospital,
this was cruel.
You guys probably heard that on the shows back in the day. We were at Together in the Trades.
The first one in Waco. Where we were staying and eating, I think.
Across the street was a hospital. Yeah. And we walk out of the hotel just to go grab some food. And I get in the Jeep and the Almonds had rented because they're rich. And Brittany Almond and you were screaming hysterically that you were pregnant or birthing.
Obviously, I was in labor.
In labor.
Because I was due. We were
6 weeks away.
We were 6 weeks away from
6-8 weeks. And so you were full blown acting like you were giving birth and like in labor. And Brittany Almond's freaking at me out, hysterically screaming too. Caleb Almond somehow had a stone face.
Because he wasn't participating. But
he's like, I'll let you go around with it, but I'm not going to feed into this. which is why Caleb's still alive today.
But that's how I knew you were going to be a great birth partner. Because Brian was like, cool hand Luke, just, okay, are you doing your breathing exercises? Okay, deep breath, ready, in, 2, 3, 4, out.
All I saw was $10,000 at the hospital. I was like, dude, I don't have 10 grand. Are you serious?
So funny.
I'm sure we'll get reimbursed.
We pulled into the hospital and everything, and Brian.
I was like, just keep breathing. It'll go away. I'm like, maybe they can give you.
Calm. Oh, yeah. He's like, maybe they can give you something to stop it.
Being the business guy, and not that we make a killing on any of the events. I'm just telling you. But I was like, look, to get on the trains, I felt more bad because there's 120 people coming in. And I'm like, listen, we can't cancel this thing.
That was the other thing is we were making plans in the car about how we were going to give the talk that we were supposed to give from
Zoom. We were going to give it like a Zoom talk from the hospital bed.
This all happened, you guys, within like a 3-minute drive.
I was like, I hate you people so much.
It was really funny.
I was like, there's 100 people flying in. We can't cancel the event. It's literally in 24 hours. And Brittany Almond's like, Liz can give the Zoom meeting. You can just run over really quick and give your 45-minute talk. She goes,
come right back.
Brittany Almond's like, nobody's going to care what you have to say anyway. It's no big deal. I was like, I hate you people. Well, we're still friends because we're glutton for punishment or something. I don't know. Like, they're
she is going to give it to you, though, because you... The like simplest thing.
What did I do now?
Having Texas Roadhouse sing her happy birthday. Not even sing, but like just I don't know, yell it. You have something major coming, and I don't know what it is, but she's gonna get you.
The most overzealous $12 employee you've ever seen at a Texas Roadhouse.
About his life.
He loves singing the song. But you know what? Thank God for that guy, right? Because the other 9 people around the table, they did not want to sing. But you get the one guy who's like, I'll sing the song. And you're like, oh, great. Well, the I'll sing the song guy came and sang Brittany Almond happy birthday. She gets 2 birthdays a year now. We'll have to do it every November 9th or 12th or whatever. And whatever her real birthday is. What?
March, I think.
March. Okay. Everybody send a gift to P.O. Box 930-233 Carroll, Ohio. I don't know the number, but it's almost in my brain.
That sounds actually about right.
No, that's ours.
Oh.
Not
in Carroll, Ohio.
No, we're not in Carroll, Ohio. So any which way, that's kind of our year in review. It's been I don't know, dude. Now that we go through the year, it's been a packed year.
We've actually done a lot.
There's been highs and lows. We've had fun with trips and family and, all that other stuff.
What's crazy is, like, in between all of that, like, Emmy went from learning to crawl to, like, learning to walk, and now she's, like, talking. And, like, getting to be, like, mom and dad. It's just been...
We still made time for each other.
Like, a really, really good...
Made time for each other, because we are clearly pregnant, so at least once.
I don't even want to go there.
Batting 1,000.
You're like, co-sleeping. How you never get time with your husband? Well, you're just really, really boring.
If you can't co-sleep and still make time for each other intimately, then shout out, coaching calls for $2.99. I'll solve that problem right now. Give you all my secrets. Any which way. So are you excited about, so right now we're in the mortgage process of building the home.
Yeah, we actually applied for a mortgage. Brian hasn't gotten like more calls, I think. So dude, the one guy was like, hey, cause we're shopping the rate, and shopping the mortgage through a couple of people right now. And he's like, hey, go to this opt out website so you don't get all the, mortgage spam for people that, when they say like your information is sold on the internet, it's got to be true because I was like, yeah, sure. I've heard people say that hundreds of times, right? And like we have an email list with Launchpreneur Academy. I don't sell it. I've never sold it or nothing like that. Nobody's really asked to buy it, to be honest, too, which is nice. But long story short, when we applied for the mortgage, maybe you guys have dealt with this actually in real life. This is new to us. I've had, no lie, what do you think? 50 phone calls, 60 calls? Yeah.
I'd say
at least 50
to 60 red text, missed phone calls on my iPhone from people that got my info from the credit bureaus once they pulled credit last week Thursday. So to have 60 people call my phone in a 2.5-3 day weekend over the Christmas weekend is insane. Like I literally am getting 20 to 30 calls a day, one every hour, every half hour for, mortgage people. I've had 15 to 20 text messages because, texting is a new way to do business even, and that's fine. But I've had 60, 70, 80 inquiries of people asking me if they can earn our mortgage business. And I opted out, which is crazy. Like it should be illegal.
I'm pretty sure it is.
I don't know, but any which way, we actually got approved last year for the home. The same time last year, we got approved. We actually literally signed the documents. They just never processed it,
which is crazy. So if you guys don't know the story, we got approved, but the house was way more.
Well, I want to talk more about that on together, building it together, because it was a really weird scenario that I don't want.
Strange situation.
If you guys ever build a home or even a little bit more of a custom home, it doesn't have to be a nicer home, like $1 million or anything. It just means like if you build a custom home, custom homes can appraise and they cannot appraise for what you think they're worth or what they cost to build. So because we built the home, it didn't appraise to what we wanted, so we had to come out of pocket. And then we also needed the down payment, of course, on that number.
We had to meet like what the appraisal came at and what
the actual cost was.
The actual cost was ourselves, because the bank obviously won't fund it because it's not.
It was beauty in the eye of the beholder. So we're going to talk about that later, because that was a whole new
thing. Yeah, but we were approved for it, but we
stopped.
We said no because personally we weren't okay with
the down payment. Yeah, because we didn't want to get financially tapped out.
Yeah.
So nothing has changed in 2019 and 2020 to process that loan for 21. So now we're running 2020 and 2021 returns, and of course 2022 like statements.
Be more than okay.
It should be more than okay, because our income grew and our debt went down, obviously. So
at this point, it's just we're like, what's our interest rate?
Yeah, that's such a stupid situation. It's going to cost $1,000
like
more.
You can't refinance, or we don't plan on taking the loan to term anyway. But
it's just ridiculous what rates are these days. But you know what? Like one side of me is like, hey, they'll come back down to 3s and 4s. The other side of me is like, dude, what if it really does go to 9, 12, 15% interest rates for a home? That was a thing in the 70s and 80s or whatever, when they had 15% mortgage interest rates, and people are shopping around getting a 9, 12% rate. Like, oh, that's good money. I mean, can you imagine?
No.
But back in the day, you get 12, 15% in the stock market, and today you're getting
nothing,
minus 5%.
Negative.
Negative. So it's just it's life. It's just where we're at. That's why I'm never like, hey, what's the world doing? I couldn't care less. We're bypassing. I don't care who the president is. We're still going to make money. We're going to grow. We've really, really spent the last 5-6 years becoming better business people, and we're just getting started. Dude, we're nobodies. We're noobs, but we have a lot of things that we want to accomplish in 23. We're building a barn. Mm-hmm. The idea is to build the barn and the house at the same time. We were able to build the barn. We were basically able to do one or the other this year, but we just said no, because if we build the barn, we don't live there. If we have the house,
keep, like, equipment randomly.
Yeah, and if we have the house, I just didn't want to wait to get the house going and not have the barn. So it just kind of weirdly worked out where I said, okay, let's just do both at the same time, because we're ready to do that. And so we can actually save a little bit of money because the same contractor.
Kind of like a serendipity is that we are able, because our concrete guys and everything will already be on site. Their guys will already be on site. Like everybody will already be there.
Yep.
It's actually less expensive. Which is cool.
Yeah, we will save a couple bucks. Lumber's tanked in the meantime, so we should be able to save some money there from the pole barn builder, and then also the home builder.
And there's a lot less work our builder was saying for like his contractors, so they're not as
labor overtime and labor rate is coming down, which is
cool.
So it's actually
a blessing.
Working out.
Like we talked about, like when the same time last year, we're like, holy crap, okay, we can either choose to be miserable for the next year, or we can look for the blessings.
Yep.
And there's been a lot.
It really has. We've saving $50 to $100 on lumber, which is ridiculous. Because lumber used to be like $1,700 almost. 1,000.
Plus all the delays.
Yeah, 100 feet or linear feet or whatever it was.
We were going to have to order our cabinets literally before we broke ground. Do you get them there on time 12 months later for installation? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, that's why we can't wait to start the second channel up and start capturing all this content and pouring it out there. It's going to be really good. So maybe if you guys want to swing over, subscribe to Building It Together. That's the YouTube channel.
When are we going to put out a video?
You want to do? We have to set a goal to start getting our first video out. Like 52 videos at least in 52 weeks.
We could do a video tomorrow while Graham's got
Let's do that. We'll do a little update and say, hey, if you guys want to come jump on the channel during the afternoon, that'd be really cool. And maybe we can get a video up by 3 or 4 o'clock and say, hey, if you guys listen to the podcast, thanks for coming over and saying hey really quick. But that's our kind of weird 2022 in review. I didn't really have anything like a formal agenda here that I wanted to cover, but I'm really excited about this year. Like, it's been a very, you know why? Because like we had so much family time. We really did. We had so much family time. Like, we definitely grew as a couple, definitely grew as a family, definitely grew as a husband and wife. I mean, man, we've had highs, we've had lows, we've had a crazy, not like getting divorced, but man, we've had fights, we've had great days.
Becoming parents, it does amazing things for your
The first 4 months of the baby, like, you're kind of in a stupor because you're exhausted. And we fought. We had great days and bad days and tough days and challenging days.
That's why I always go back to the Utah trip. Like, had we not
spent some time together.
Like, had we gone through the house, we wouldn't have taken the Utah trip.
We could have got ripped apart.
We weren't the team then that we are now, and it started on that trip.
That's true.
Like, being out in the mountains, away from all help, with a super challenging baby.
Yep.
It really forced us to figure out how to work together as parents, and we've worked together in business, we've worked together as spouses, but like we never worked together as parents.
Do you think that we're like more mature in a couple different areas now than we were?
For sure. I think we still have a lot
to grow up
in, for sure. I don't think that ever stops though.
Yeah, sure.
But I am really proud of how far we've come.
Yeah, I think, again, we talked about it earlier. I think we definitely spent time growing us to be able to grow outwardly. Like, you got to grow inward to grow outwardly, I feel. And so I'm really excited about, I don't want people in 2023, not that we're anything special, we're doing anything special, but I don't want people to be like, oh, overnight success or YouTube money this, or it's like, bro, we've been sandbagging financially for almost 3.5 years now. It'll be 4 years by the time we break ground on our home, because Paul was over in the summer. We break ground early summer of 23. Paul came over in 19. It's been 4 years. We've just been putting money in the bank, you know?
Yeah. And I mean, even before that, we stayed in that old apartment for...
Yeah. The first apartment for 6.5 years. This apartment will be 3.5 years by the time we're actually moved out of it. We're hoping to find something out by our house that we can live in and get out of this apartment in July when our lease is up, because we break ground in March, April, May, March or April for the home. So if we can find a rental like a mile down the road, that'd be legit. That way we can, see the site every day.
Closer to
the house build
site, yeah.
Yeah, because right now we're 20 minutes east of it.
Which isn't that bad.
No. It would just be nice to like look out your back window and be like, hey, but
I also don't want to move with a newborn. That sounds like its own circle of hell.
Yeah, but you can watch your home get built every single day.
True.
Take little walks over to it. Ride the golf cart or the slingshot over, like that kind of stuff. Probably not the slingshot. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to buy a slingshot. Anyway, so that's what I got.
I'm going to buy a horse.
We're not buying a horse, dude. Get off the horse thing. Never again talk about the horse. Ever. It's never, like, I love you, but if there was a list of things that would never happen in our life.
I just say like, it because I know what you're, I don't
dude,
you
have trigger the hell. Why would you say that then? You just like to see my blood pressure? Like the vein in my neck.
See, this is what I mean by we still have growing to do.
You have growing to do. Stop instigating your husband. Why? You and Brittany Allman are cut from the same cloth. You just dig. Just get the knife in there. Just dig. Kayla and I need to run away to the mountains and snowmobile just to get it out. We will never own a horse. We will never own a horse. You good?
A cow.
We will never own a cow. You're lucky I get chickens. We'll get chickens. I'll do a goat. I'll do a goat or a llama anytime. Just see the tongue go. Yeah, I'll do a goat or that Taylor Swift song.
We say goat very Midwestern. Say
goat. I'll get a goat, don't you know?
I met somebody at a quip that was like, I love it when you're on the podcast because you sound like such a good old Midwestern mom or something like that. And I'm like, what do you mean?
All right, well, let's finish this up so we can go eat our pork chops and mashed potatoes. Shout out to everybody who's showed love in 2022, man. It's been a wild year. Thank you guys for listening. What's up? What do you say?
It's 2022 and I'm still rating 2021. It's about to be 2023.
But no, for real, like shout out. Hope you guys had a good year. Hopefully you guys had a great year. I just really appreciate you guys still listening and just I don't know, like what you even call it, like just supporting, just checking out what we're doing. We are nobody special by any means of any way, shape, or form. Like I don't have a $250 million first form pharmaceutical grade quality, workout product line, for health and fitness.
Definitely not.
Not those people. I'm not Tony Robbins where I can solve all your life problems in a 7-step process for $10,999. We're not anything special about anything. Like literally, like my claim to fame is like we're just consistent. We just kept building one thing at a time and adding a brick,
We laugh about it all the time that like our business is based on the most like unsatisfactory work. Like if you build homes or something like that, like you can drive past your project in like years to come. We literally go out and cut grass and then the next week you have to go and cut it again.
Yeah, like what I did last week is gone. Yeah.
You go, same thing with snow. Like you push the snow, okay.
Then it goes away.
And then it goes, it melts.
And then it comes again and then it goes away. I'm like, nobody ever will give me credit for anything I've ever done when I die, which is funny.
That's not true, but
it's the truth. Like, somebody like a mason builds a building and it's there for 100 years.
I know the bricks my papa laid in Detroit on roads are still there.
Isn't that wild? Like we're the only industry, like literally when you leave a week later, unless it's a patio or something, I guess, but like the mowing and the blowing of the snow and the mowing, you know what I'm saying? It's gone.
Trees.
What's that?
Trees.
Plant trees?
Plant trees.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I don't really do a lot with trees, though.
We don't plant trees, though.
We'll plant a couple on our property, but that's a whole other story for a whole other time. Want some nice October glories and sassafras and burning maples or red maples. All right, that's what I got. Anything else you want to add really quick while I got you on the show?
No.
I like to get you on once every 6 weeks, let everybody know that you're alive.
You haven't killed me yet.
There's been days, bro. And vice versa. There's been days when I'm like, why? Why don't you tell me about the list that you made the other day?
Was that last night? Or that was the night before. Emmy has been waking up because she only has like 5 teeth, so we're still in the teething phase, which is sucky, and she doesn't sleep at night. And so we had a night where I started getting up with her at like 2 or 3. Brian's like snoring, and there is so much resentment in those early hours in the morning. It doesn't matter which spouse gets up. You know, like it's not usually the same one in our house, but you just like hate the other one. Like they're nice deep breathing.
I don't hate you ever, just for the record. Nope.
So I literally sat there and made a list of the reasons why I married Brian.
Because you were going to kill me in my sleep. Because I wake up in the morning and I go, man, I'm so tired. I'm not getting any sleep.
I could have killed you.
As I get like 5 or 7 hours, and you're getting like 5 or 7 minutes.
See, my sleep isn't consistent either. Like if I'm sleeping for like 5 hours,
that's the end of the show,
broken up
folks.
into like 45-minute increments.
Woe was me.
At least that one night.
Stop being a victim.
Anyways, I suggest you make a list in your head of reasons why you married yours. It was a long list. It was actually, it made me love you again.
Oh my God, dude, just in one night? Oh, this is adding up. Are we solid? Are you leaving me? You're going to get half? You're going to get half? You're going to get half the barn? Dude, we would be so petty.
You could live in the barn.
I would live in the barn. You would live in the house.
In the house.
And every day we'd flick each other off as we leave to go to work.
Yeah, basically.
You would get a cow and a horse the next day.
I would, right outside your barn. Have no idea how to care for it. I'd use your money to hire somebody to like help it live because I don't know what a horse needs.
We're so petty sometimes.
Hay, I guess. Some water.
The irony is like how petty we can be as human beings, and how much hate I got like the 2nd and 3rd year of my YouTube channel, and I never lashed out at a single person. I mean, like
you wanted to.
Oh, I was gonna murder people.
What was that like?
No, don't even. Let's stop. I don't even want to go down to that route. But the fact that we didn't kill those people, and many of people, like and people that were friends and basically like turned on me, like stabbed you in the back, and then 3-4 years later they're like they want to be your besties, and then like we joke, but like we're not petty. We're just
no, we're petty.
We're petty, but like
petty Betty. But
it's just wild, and like the fact that like we just try to stay just calm and chill and just nice and just love on people. We have growing to do. We've grown a lot. We've grown a lot since my first YouTube video, dude. I'll tell you that. So anyway, let's just wrap it up because it's an hour and 15 minutes, and then that's all I got. So are you good?
Yeah.
What do you mean? What do you do? What do you?
The way you asked this. So
are you good? Like I'm just asking. Like last call before we call.
Like Abby, when you put her in the car seat, you good?
A high five.
That's what it is. High five.
She goes. We got to get some more like love on our show. Like Jeremiah and Savannah would just swoon on their podcast. Like Jeremiah, I love you so much, and he's like, honey, I love you too. You know, and I'm just like, they're little like country bumpkins, man, and they were just so sweet. And I like played that episode, and I'm like, we are not that sweet to each other. They're like, oh no, you'll get some sleep. No, honey, you get some sleep. It'll be all right. And then the almonds, like they're killing each other too. You know, half the time.
I'm noticing a trend. The more kids you have, and the longer you've been married, the more you're like the niceties.
The honeymoon phase.
And that's why you run together in the trades. Hey, if you need tickets.
Actually, what are we up to? We're like 65, I think. 64.
Yeah, so we only have 100 tickets.
No, 125.
125?
Yeah, I don't.
Where did I get that from?
124 couples, and then one single guy.
124 couples?
Well, no. 68 couples, whatever that number is, and then one single guy. Sorry, I'm just coding. Get it is 125 tickets, but the room holds 125. I know Brittany Almond said we're up to 60 tickets the other day, so I would imagine we're like 64, 66 if we're selling by the twos. Yeah, because that was a couple weeks ago when she mentioned that.
Yeah, I know we've sold a lot for Christmas.
We really have. If you guys haven't got your tickets,
Valentine's Day is coming up.
That's a great suggestion. Yeah, that's for real. Big Sky Montana, togethertrades.com. If you guys want to learn more, not to give a whole pitch on that, but any which way.
We're going.
We're going. We can't wait to go and learn. And then renew our annual subscription to Tandem Marriage. We should.
I told you.
That'd be awesome.
I told you one of the traditions. We got to stop this podcast eventually. But one of the traditions that I wanted to do was every year on our anniversary, we was renew our vows to like re-up, to like renegotiate the contract, and then like.
No, I said that one time.
Yeah, it's what hand fasting is. Did you know that?
I don't know what the hell that means.
Hand fasting is when you. I don't know.
I have a whole nother definition of hand fasting.
You get like hand fasted, and it's basically like getting married. But then a year from then, you actually get married, but like you've only been hand fasted, so you could still get out of it. So you get like a year to decide if that's really what you want to do.
I don't even know what you're saying right now.
At least to my understanding.
That's a fast button on the middle that I am not swinging at. Like I could use.
Anyways, thanks for listening.
We're gonna go.
Show.
We're gonna go finish up this podcast so we can break our hand fast. And I'm just gonna be done here right now. People in the videos are like, "How do you get Liz to look at you in the videos the way that she does?" I'm like, man.
The real secret is I just can't see, so I just squint.
Yeah, right. Is the camera looking at me?
I look at everybody that way.
You're looking at somebody else in the video, like they're sharing a group vlog video. Why is Liz looking at people that way?
See, it's different. I look at you that way, and people are like, "Oh wow, she really loves him." I look at anybody else that way, and they're like, "Wow, that lady's such a bitch." It's the same look. It doesn't change.
This is the whole good old like you should have ended it 10 minutes ago.
You really should have.
Mr. Producer's like, you guys should have wound it down at about the 55.
This is turning into the John Wick episode. We were about due. It's been over a year.
Why do you do that pirate thing? We were about due. Where did that come from?
I don't know.
What is that? What country? What state? What Midwest thing is that? We was about due. Scooby-Dooby-Doo.
It reminds me, you know, the Gibraltar Trade Center guy, the big tall cutout.
Nope. Oh, the peanut looking dude.
He's got a suit.
The Planters guy?
It's Gibraltar Trade Center.
I know. That place is gone.
I think the statue, or he's not a statue.
The statue?
Like
the standing peanut guy, though. I know what you're talking about. It looks like Mr. Planters.
Yeah, except he's a person, not a peanut.
Eat some Planters peanuts. How do you do?
Just end that episode.
I hope Mr. Producer can make that a soundbite and just play it everywhere. Today's episode is brought to you by How Do You Do? All right. That's what we got today. We're going to go check on Graham's, check on the Break That Hand Fast, and we are out of here super fast. And that's what I got. Happy New Year to all y'all listening. By the way, last thing I say, the podcast still growing, still got some great downloads. I listen at the
completely killed it.
Probably it's amazing. We're doing our best here. It's Lon's Lessons in Life.
What part is this?
Listen though, I was just gonna say really quick, the downloads. I was looking at the map.
Yes. Are we in Denmark?
We're everywhere, everywhere except for like a couple of weird, portions of Africa that
Don't say that.
Well, I mean, saying like they don't have Wi-Fi or grass.
Don't say that either.
Why can't I not say that? They don't have it. What?
This is appropriate.
What? There's no reason I cannot just say what I just said. There's some weird parts of Africa that there's
It's not good.
some weird parts of Michigan.
If you ever run for office at any point in your life, this soundbite is going to come up. There's some weird parts of Africa. That man's a racist.
There's just some factual statements. How do you do, Africa?
My mom said the next year probably wondering what the hell we've been doing.
How do you do, fellow Africans? Hello, fellow Ethiopians.
Oh, that's bad.
I don't care when you're going to cancel me. Oh, I might lose a brand deal. I don't make any money on him anyway. People are like, oh, he's making so much money. Am I?
Well, if you don't,
by the way, the brands that stick with us, they know
why.
The brands that partner with us, they get it. The ones that don't partner with us, there's a reason. There's a reason Paul's got different sponsors than I do. Paul's even keel. He's calm. He's nice. He's effective. But, other brands, they don't reach out to me. I'm like, why didn't Rainbird reach out to me? I've got
the
irrigation.
PC, please, man. You're making me angry.
Couldn't care less.
Just like at today's appointment.
But I
was totally made our ultrasound tech mad by saying,
"Can you do me next?"
No, not even that. That was the light version of what you said. For me, it was that we're not finding out the gender. We're going to let it decide at 10 years old.
But listen. So there's parts of Africa that...
Why do you say like Africa? It's Africa. It's not paprika. It's Africa.
Listen, I can get one word right if Paul Jameson can't get Jason Creole right on his show for 3 years. Every time, you didn't listen to the show, but for 3 years, 2 years, Paul would go Jason Creole. Like Creole seasoning. That's what somebody else said. Paul had a guest, and the guest goes, Paul, I love you, man, but I just want to let you know, thank you for this interview. By the way, you're saying Creole wrong. And Jason Creole got on there. He's like, you're saying it wrong. So for Paul, for 2.5, I love Paul. Shout out to Paul. I know he's listening right now. And Paul's like, I didn't know. But Paul's enunciation of Creole was Creole. And so even Jason Creel's like, dude, there's no O in there, bro. Like, it's Creole. So if Paul can say a word wrong for 2.5 years, I can say Africa, however I want.
You said Africa.
Africa.
Like
Africa.
paprika. It's Africa.
Chile. Remember the Chile episode?
Wasn't that around the John Wick episode?
Listen, I'm just saying, God Lord, shut up. I should shut up. Shut the giggle. Shut up. How do you know?
There's people listening who would never tell their wife to shut up.
They haven't found the secret yet.
They've never been married to me.
Dude, no shoot. Blink if you're in trouble.
Okay, we're almost
My
at an
point
hour
is,
and a half.
I just wanted to say, this is what I was getting to, but you interrupt.
Okay, well, hurry
I just want to say thank you all across the world for listening to the show.
Even the weirdos in Africa?
There's a bunch of people that listen in Africa, minus the people with Wi-Fi or grass. The little dancing kids that are like, they do the little dances.
Just
do they have the colorful Crocs? I love those dancing kids on Instagram Reels. They are so funny. Dude, they get millions of views on Instagram. Their bonus reel play money on Instagram has got to be 10. Why are they dancing? Right? They don't dance for free. Nobody dances for free. You do it once or twice. But those kids, telling you what, that's a whole other story. you dance, and I throw dollars all the time. Dollar holla. But listen. I just want to say we've had downloads in all across the Middle East. We've had downloads all across Ukraine and the Eastern Europe bloc, which
probably don't go there either, Brian.
Probably not the best time. I just want to say thank you for people listening all across the world. I'm really impressed by that.
That's great.
We have people in
They're probably,
Australia.
What the hell is wrong with
Tasmania. Tasmania. Where's Tasmania, Liz?
In Africa.
Oh my God. Wait, is it?
Wait, no, I think it's in Australia. Tasmania. The Tasmanian devil. It's in Australia.
Yeah, it's Australia. I was like, actually, it is in Africa. Dang it. I got that wrong. But people in Tasmania are listening to the show. That's insane. It's on the other side of the world, and they're on an island. So somebody has to write out my podcast and deliver it. I'm just kidding. They have Wi-Fi. It's a continent? No, there's 7 continents. It's a state. Maybe a country.
Australia is its own continent.
For sure, but Tasmania is not.
No, but it's you said it's an island.
Right, it is. Because it's got water around it. That would make it an island.
Australia is a continent.
Why an island? But Tasmania.
That would be like, yeah, Africa is kind of...
It's not an island because there's not water all the way around it.
That whole peninsula thing would be...
It's a peninsula. Maybe you could say it's a peninsula. But listen, I just wanted to say thank you to everybody who's listening all across the world in 2022 because we have a lot of people listening in the States. We have a lot of people listening.
Oh, Tasmania itself is an island.
Is that going to be me just being right again? Like, is that how we're just going to call that one a spade? It's called spade a spade. Like, on today's episode of I'm Right Again.
I thought you were saying that Australia is an island.
It is an island, but that wasn't
the continent.
Which is also an island. Two things can be once right at the same time. They can be not mutually exclusive, right?
No, because Hawaii isn't a continent.
Right. It's a state. That is an island. Tasmania is an island. Part of the country of Australia. Where they have whippersnippers.
Brazil isn't an island.
Brazil is not an island, Liz. That's the mainland. That's a continent.
But the entire
What is
continent,
your question?
I'm saying that an entire continent from Canada down to South America would be an island.
Do you mean South America, North America, and Central America you think is an island?
Yeah.
That would be a landmass.
Your logic. Well, Australia is a landmass.
Well, not really because the Bering Strait.
Is Australia...
No, not really because the Bering Strait eventually was connected, and that was connected to the Bering Strait, which might not be true technically, which is the eastern block of, eastern side of Russia, or maybe China. Not really sure geographically, but those Mongols had to come up and around somehow. And the Vikings also came over, but they came from Finland and Norway.
Okay. No.
And Denmark.
To help resolve the confusion as to why Greenland is the world's largest island, but Australia gets to be the smallest continent. The main reason is all about the continental shelf and not the coastline. Greenland is connected to North America to the continental shelf, while Australia has its own shelf.
That's what I'm saying.
Because it has its own shelf, it's considered a continent and not an island.
Right.
No, you said it was an island.
What?
So yeah,
What is an island?
Greenland is the largest island on Earth.
Sure. I didn't disagree with that.
Australia is not an island.
Yes, it is.
No, it's its own continent because it has its own continental shelf.
Right, because it's on land. Like it's supported underneath by land. It's not an island like floating.
It's not an
Not that
island.
islands float either, but it is an island. Nobody's going to disagree.
It's not an island. It's a continent. I just explained to you why.
It's an. Listen, we have listeners in Africa. We have people listening in Europe. We have people listening. I was going to say we have people listening in the UAE and Qatar. Nobody in Kuwait. Nobody in Iran. I don't think my podcast is getting into Iran right now. Unfortunately, it's not funny. But I know, but that's what I'm saying. Like you can tell where I don't get broadcasted. You know, like they just shut down the internet.
That's terrible. What about China?
We might be in China. I'm not sure, but it is really weird. Like you can tell.
More.
Yeah. But we have people listening all over North America, and our biggest downloaded state. Guess what? Our most downloaded state is. I just happened to be researching this at like 2 a.m. the other night. But guess what state is? Guess what state?
I don't know. Maybe a southern state.
Okay. You would be incorrect. It's actually Michigan.
Oh wow! I'm surprised.
That's because our mom's listening to the show.
This is your mom replaying over and over.
They just keep the podcast on loop. The more you play those ads, the more money you earn, right? Well, it doesn't really work that way.
I will never forget, like, your mom, when the first year you started your YouTube channel, would, like, sit there and while she was doing dishes, just let your videos, like, loop or, like,
well, when we went to our friend's wedding in Rhode Island, we had 999 subscribers, and she was our 1,000th subscriber.
She was.
I got her phone. I'm like, give me their phone. Give me 1,000 subscribers. But guess what our second most downloaded state is? Illinois.
Oh.
Yeah, so shout out to my friends in Illinois, which
Midwest.
Yeah, for real. After that, it was like Ohio, Pennsylvania, New York, and then we had a lot of people in Georgia, Florida, Texas. Ohio was up there, of course.
Anybody in California?
The whole state, the whole union, all the states in the union. Everybody listens to the show.
Hawaii?
Everywhere, yeah, for real. It was pretty cool.
Alaska.
Well, because it's like a color gradient map, you know, so it's like dark green, light green, lighter green, you know, a gray. And the gray is really weird because you can just see like the countries that literally have no freedom of speech or information or the internet. Like there's portions of Africa that like literally there's nothing. I'm like, okay, that's weird. Like you still get like lucky sometimes like with a 1 or a 2 or 3 downloads. Almost every country or continent had downloads. But you can see like Iran, there's just a block. There's no,
that's sad.
Yeah, that is really weird and strange and depressing. Not because they're not downloading the show, but
I mean, there's not really grass there, but
yeah, but you know, let's not get into that, okay? But it is cool to see that people have downloaded the show all across the world. Probably 1 million downloads this year, I would say. You know, I'd have to look it up. But that's crazy. So I just want to say a quick thank you to all you guys listening to the show. Like we joke, we laugh, we have fun, we share our life with you guys. But you guys are our life. Like it's weird, like how things have transcended. You guys went from like downloads and views and clicks and numbers and just stats to like friends over the last 4 or 5 years.
it is weird. When I was little, my dad had the CB radio or whatever in his truck.
Yep.
And so when we would drive up north, I would like sing to the truckers, which is kind of creepy when you think about it now. And it was always like interesting because I never got to hear back from them because I don't know, like why would you let your daughter talk on a CB radio both ways, you know, I guess. But I feel like we do that again, except we could get to hear back from people. Not that we're singing. This is very weird.
What's that?
It's very
What's that? I was just shooting a quick text message. Rob was texting me something. Were you singing on the radio, the CB radio? No, too bad. I missed him. Dang it, what? You're singing on the truck driver radio?
You're not even listening to me at this point.
I was texting Rob. Rob having a question about the plow. I was literally, you're supposed to cover, dude. You dingbat.
I
I was texting her. It was 10 seconds. It was 10 seconds. Rob's like, hey, man, what do I do with the plow? I'm leaving the country. You were talking about a CB radio story, and now where are you at? I was out with my dad, and we were talking to the truck drivers, and they're called lot lizards, honey. And
oh my god,
what were you doing?
I don't know.
What was this? What was the story? What was the point? Was
Well, I was just saying, like, I used
you're
to
a great
sing
storyteller.
on, like, on CB radio, and like I feel like it's kind of the same thing doing podcasts.
All the people that don't reply because it's a one-way street, CB radio.
No, we get to like see who the listeners are and like
You
talk to them and meet them.
Oh, hello,
Like,
Mike Garvey. Over
but
and
I
out.
was
Hey, Vince.
realizing it would
Over
be
and out.
really weird if I met the truck drivers when I was little.
What are we doing? Like a radio call here? Call. Like,
Hey, have you ever thought about doing like a dial-in?
yeah, I have. If I had a landline, because I don't want to give out any of our phones.
You can have a Google number. It's not hard. There's this thing called technology.
You're such a douchebag, dude. Like, you're such. Why are you such?
I don't know. It's just so easy.
It's just so easy to be a douchebag.
to you.
When I get the house, I want to get a landline.
Brian, we're not getting a landline.
Oh, we're not getting a landline, but we can have horses.
This is the
Dr.
episode
Fauci.
that
Dr.
never
Fauci.
it goes on.
We don't get a landline, but we can get a horse. Listen, I want to get a
The
landline.
horse is the original landline.
Well, here's the thing. If I live stream with my
revere it.
phones, shut up. If I live stream, I can't do it with either of our phones. I'm not giving out your number or my number any more than it's already out there. And so we need a landline. You know what I'm saying? And but we use a Google number, but we only have so many phones. Do you know what I'm saying?
Another phone.
Well, yeah. I mean, I'm kind of cheap that way. So if
We don't even have a different business
who's
number,
the Christian?
personal number.
Not Christian, but who's the one phone company that like Shapiro and all those guys have? It's it's like Liberty Mobile or something like
No,
that.
I should know this. I hear it every day.
I hear it every freaking thing.
Yeah.
We should sign up for them for like $20. It's literally $20 a month and just have a burner phone. That's what the almonds do. That's how they do the Hotscape.
Hardscape podcast.
Hardscaper hotline.
Or the Hotscape podcast.
The Hotscape. That's Caleb. Hotscape hot podcast.
Call it.
Launchpreneur line 2. Hello, what's your problems today? That would be That would be really, really fun.
That would be really fun.
So once we have the house and the barn, we'll have 2 dedicated studio spaces, and this is the kind of cool stuff that we plan to do with our social media. Lake Alpha's got his whole garage turned into a mega studio, which is just insane. Like that's way high level. Dude, it's wild. Like we just literally don't have any dedicated space ever.
You don't even have a wall anymore.
We don't have a wall or a corner. Every YouTuber and reviewer and guy has a corner or a space. I don't have a corner. We don't have a wall. We have no literal space. My life is a real life canvas of just, dude, here's where we're at. Like, we're not trying to impress anybody. I don't have a cool YouTube space.
We're literally sitting in a dark. The sun has set during this episode, and we're just sitting in a dark nursery.
Dark nursery.
Dark nursery.
But you know what I'm saying? I don't have a podcast studio. I don't have a YouTube studio. We don't even have grass. No, I'm just saying, but it's interesting. Like, we're going to build a home and a barn on 3.5 acres that have all come from
It is interesting that you have
creating
You
content.
don't even have your own grass.
We don't even have our own grass. We have like one of the largest YouTube channels for lawn
We're gonna
care.
have so much more time because of all the logistical nightmares we won't have to deal with anymore. And we'll just have a place to keep
We
everything.
had a super profitable year. There's still so much waste in our company that we could shore up 10 to 20 G's easily.
I don't even want to talk about our storage bill.
Well, that's why between the tax savings, the monthly storage bill, and then just depreciating, the building, we can almost build the barn for a couple $100 more per month than what we're spending just on our storage lockers, which is ridiculous. So we've already been. But I want to do a whole podcast about renting versus buying, and even renting in your personal life, because we've rented for a long time. It's been a very, very smart move for us.
People think we're insane when we say
You're like,
that.
you're throwing so much money away. I'm like, yes and no, but that's the whole on the podcast. So give me some feedback. If you guys want to listen in, shoot me a DM. Let me know what you guys think, and maybe we can do a podcast on that. Last thing, I did want to plug this. Besides saying hey, hi, and goodbye on this show is I've really been helping a lot of people link up with Cycle CPA. I've really been working with a lot of people to get linked up with those people.
Yeah.
Because 2023, I want you guys to really get a hold of your numbers like crazy. We got some new resources coming out in Launchpreneur Academy that I've built over the summer and fall that have been done. I'm sandbagging them for the spring. It's just where people are going to be focused on that stuff in March, April, May. We've built some really powerful resources. I've seeded it to a couple guys, got some great feedback. And I really want people to make great money, really good money. I want you guys to get paid for what you do really, really well. But link up with Cycle CPA if you guys haven't found a good bookkeeper. It is really, really important that you do. Those guys are great. I just didn't want to end the podcast without saying, if you guys want to have 2023 be your best year ever, I mean, best year ever is relative, right? Like that's specific for everybody. What if you quantify that? But I think that a lot of people would quantify, making money, right? That's
a good start.
That's what we do, right? Like we're in business. I mean, it is a business. It is, the goal is to make money, unless you're a nonprofit business. And then what's a nonprofit always looking for, I say? Profit. So it all does start with making money, and money is just translated into choices. Doesn't mean you're a good person or a bad person. Just means you have more choices and options. But I really, really implore you guys to check out Cycle CPA. If you use our code, you save a couple $100 on ramping with them. But we've had, I think, 4 or 5 more people in the last 3 or 4 weeks that have been DMing back and forth that have signed up with them. I'm getting such great feedback. I have a bunch of testimonies that I've been taking screenshots of that I've been sharing on Instagram, and just getting great feedback from people signing up with them and getting their ducks in a row. So that's the last thing I wanted to just say, besides the Together in the Trades plug, I guess. But anything else you got, babe? If not, we'll...
No, I think I said enough.
Well, this is possibly our longest episode ever.
Great.
All right. So that's our 2022 year in review. What a mess. But it is our life. We'll be back here Monday, Wednesdays, Fridays. We're going to keep the hammer down, keep the momentum going, and hope you guys are out there plowing that snow, making that dough, or maybe you guys are listening to this cutting grass and just going through some of the backlogs through winter. But appreciate you guys listening to the show. Don't forget to leave a rating and review. That's the last thing I'll say is, if you guys haven't left a 5-star rating and reviewed the show, from this year, let us know what you guys think, and we appreciate a 5-star review. That'd be really cool. And that's kind of what I got. All right. Anything else, babe? If not, I'm hitting the magical button.
I'm not going to say anything else.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
Want to count down the ball together?
We're going to do Noon Year this year.
5, 4,
Christmas.
3, 2, 1. Happy New Year.
Accurate estimating starts with accurate accounting. In previous years, you may have been able to get by based on your gut feeling or rough calculations. However, this year, business financial risk has increased due to fluctuating and rising expenses. To ensure you are hitting your profit and cash flow goals, it is now crucial to know your numbers. The accounting firm Cycle CPA currently helps over 175 green industry businesses maneuver in these hectic times through a solid bookkeeping foundation, monthly reports, and continuous advisory meetings. Visit their website, cyclecpa.com, and mention Brian's podcast to receive $200 off on bookkeeping and CFO services.
Thanks for taking the time to listen to the Fullerton Unfiltered podcast with Brian Fullerton. We hope you enjoyed this production. If so, please consider leaving us a 5-star review for the show. While the techniques and ideas presented here are designed to help you grow a more successful and profitable business, no one can guarantee these results for you. We want to emphasize that entrepreneurship is not easy, and the ideas presented here are just the opinions of Brian Fullerton and his respective guests. No one can guarantee success for you. That being said, we hope the ideas presented here help you and motivate you to go on out there and crush it with your own business.
Fullerton Unfiltered Podcast.
Thanks for listening, and we hope to see you on the next episode.
This has been a Brian Fullerton and Mr. Producer production.